Tonight, breaking and entering Manchester style.
Yeah, they're going to attack us here, they're getting machetes out of the boot.
Dangerous criminals.
We're right, Trafford Road. They're throwing items like the car at us, balaclava up.
Manchester's elite squad at the front line, picking up the pieces.
Don't worry, all right. It's not stolen.
And fighting the car wars.
There is no hiding place for these people. We're going to be out there, we're going to be behind them, and we're going to be arresting them.
Manchester is Britain's third biggest city. More than 1 million cars use the city's streets. 18,000 were stolen last year. Nationally, car crime costs more than £1 billion every year. But in Manchester, there's a more serious price to pay. The city's car criminals are violent, especially when the cops are on their tail.
Yeah, they've just attacked us with sledgehammers.
This gang of armed robbers is attempting to ram the police car to put it out of action.
Sorry, Phil.
Car crime here is not just about joyriding, as it was often termed. Car crime here is about people stealing performance cars, high-performance cars, so that they can use them in ram raids, they can use them in armed robberies, and there is a fair degree of violence there.
To counter this threat from some of the city's most dangerous criminals, Greater Manchester Police set up the Tactical Vehicle Crime Unit, or TVCU. A squad of 20 specialist officers whose job is to chase down Manchester's car thieves and those criminals who use stolen cars to commit other crimes and then refuse to stop.
We were determined that we were actually going to engage this problem. And, you know, frankly, the TVCU are feared by the criminals because they realise how professional they are, and they know that if the TVCU are onto them, they stand a very, very good chance of being caught.
The base from where Manchester's car wars are fought is in Eccles, 3 miles west of the city centre. 2 members of the squad, PC's Paul Fletcher and Steve Booth, are beginning a 10-hour shift, checking up on what the criminals have been up to.
In the last 2 days, there's been 365 instances of vehicles involved in jobs, whether it be sus-circs, thieves on, carjackings, burglaries where cars have gone, or where vehicles have been stolen off the street. So what we can do from that, we can break that down into further searches. There's a vehicle been stolen there, Bury, another one gone into burglary, another vehicle stolen in the last 10 minutes off the street, another burglary where a car's gone. They will gladly go out on a night out, they will steal a Ford Mondeo on the keys, a new shape one, and they will sell that car for £50. And that's what they get for the car. Going up to £200 for an Audi TT, upwards of, I think, £300 usually the top end if they get a Range Rover or something like that. And then they'll go out and use them to commit ram raids, other burglaries for other vehicles, off-licence robberies, bank robberies, the full spectrum, and that's what these cars are used for.
To help catch the thieves, the squad has a fleet of high-performance unmarked vehicles.
Right, this is what it's all about really. It's a Super Impreza, 2-litre WRX World Rally car, 4-wheel drive. It'll do 0 to 60 in around 7 seconds, and top speed somewhere around the range of 155 miles an hour. Right, inside the car, some more toys in the vehicle. This is the onboard P&C terminal that we have, which links us to the Police National Computer at Hendon. So every vehicle that's on the road on a registration plate, we can get access to via this little box. It'll automatically come up with the owner, address, who the vehicle's registered to, and more importantly to us, the exact specification of the car. Right, so I'll put the vehicle in now, and there we go. So it gives us the address, chassis number of the vehicle, engine number of the vehicle, and underneath it, if the vehicle is reported stolen, that black box will flash those reports on it. Right, so come to the boot with a few little toys in here that we use to help us. One of the old favourites, a Stinger device. Basically it's a bed of nails, hollow spike tyres, we throw that out across the road to bring the pursuit to a more manageable speed and control it a bit more. Then we have our video unit, which is a Hi8 player, which comes to a camera on the front windscreen, and this is where we record all our pursuits and vehicle strikes.
More than 100 car chases were caught by the cameras last year alone. This car hasn't been stolen, but the driver doesn't want to be caught, either on tape or by those following him. He's wanted for skipping bail and is now on the run from PC Fletcher.
He's already in the mindset now, he wants to get away, so despite what we're doing, he just wants to get away, and he's got no concept of speed or other people around him. He's just got tunnel vision. He'll never outdrive the car, he's driving to his limit. Too much speed, too little ability. Very erratic on the brakes, so because in braking and accelerating, the car was rocking all over the place.
The driver is now headed into the city, hoping to lose those pursuing by running red lights.
He's realised that he's not going to get shakers that way, so he's changed his tack now, and he's heading more for the open roads, trying to build a bit of speed up.
This is now a high-speed chase through the city suburbs. It's 10 p.m, the streets are still busy, and his driving is now causing concern for those pursuing.
He's driven down the wrong carriageway of the road. He's coming down a dual carriageway into oncoming traffic. Well, we're not going to follow him down that side of the road, so we just keep pace with him on the correct side of the carriageway. You just know it's going to end in tears, really. He's of the mindset now, he's not going to stop for anybody. He'd been looking to a left turn for a while, and then he finally makes one, and unfortunately it's a dead end. In the end, he was detained after a short foot chase.
In the city centre, two other members of the squad, PC's Andy Talkington and Phil Cross, are looking for stolen cars and the gangs who drive them.
We've got a lot of vehicles that get stolen, we have a lot of burglaries, we've got quite a large gang culture, and all of these things bring with them the inherent use of vehicles by criminals. They all need to get around, so wherever you've got crime, you've got vehicles, and wherever you've got criminals who are using vehicles, you know, whether they be that they're wanted criminals or they've got something in the car that they don't want the police to find, they're going to put the foot to the floor and a pursuit's going to ensue.
Criminals use vehicles on a daily basis, and, you know, we're there to target them. It's quite, you know, we have a good success rate of pulling in stolen vehicles. We're recovering about £800,000 worth of stolen vehicles a month.
Expensive high-performance motors are now the main target for Manchester's car thieves.
Yeah, at the moment, mate, there's a Ferrari Spider 360 on the M56. It's a stolen, mate.
The Ferrari reported stolen is worth more than £100,000. The good news is it has a satellite tracking system so police can follow its progress.
It's towards Hale Barnes at the moment, mate, I think. Paul Brace just told me that, mate. I'll get back to you shortly. Just start making that area.
The Ferrari is now heading towards PC's Talkington and Cross.
There is a Ferrari, just go that way, mate. Red one.
Right, mate. Video on.
Yeah, I mean, initial thoughts with the Ferrari, you think to yourself, this is a fast car, you know, it's a racing car.
Sierra 9918 going to come in.
If we get behind it and it does go for it, there's going to be obviously a fast chase.
Yeah, we're getting reports of a Ferrari from Cheshire coming up the M56. We're currently behind one, Princes Parkway, city bound. We've not got a VRM yet, but it's going to be one and the same, I would suggest. This might be an outstanding stolen Ferrari.
Yeah, he's coming as an outstanding stolen 360 Modena. An outstanding stolen from Woodward Street, the city centre.
Yeah, Sierra 9918. In that case, can we have India 99? I'm not sure if they're grounded, and we also require dog patrols and traffic, please.
Getting the Force helicopter India 99 above them is now a priority.
Show me his ground commander. We're in the tactical phase. At the moment, it's a follow.
The Ferrari can do more than 170 miles an hour, easily enough to see off the cops. But until support arrives, no attempt will be made to stop the thief. 2 miles away in Salford, PC Paul Fletcher is now back on patrol with his regular partner, PC Steve Booth, looking for local car thieves.
Well, Salford's my patch. I have the run of the force. I can go anywhere in the force, but I like Salford. I know the people there. My father worked Salford for 17 years in the local authority as a clerk who works for the housing. So he put them in houses, and well, I put them in houses now, but they tend to have bars behind them.
The local thieves often target prestige cars.
Where we work, Salford, they like having the Saabs.
Yeah.
Bit of a signature car for them.
If you have a Saab 9000 or a Saab 900, the older model, don't come to Manchester because it won't be there when you come back. It's literally their stamp. This is us, this is Salford, this is what we do.
And they make sure they can keep pace with the cops.
A lot of the times, like when we first got the Honda Accord Type R's, they're like relatively new car on the road, and then all of a sudden these Honda Accord Type R's started getting stolen off the street. And then we got the 3.2 Audi, and then all of a sudden 3.2 Audis have started being stolen by. So they're matching themselves up to what we've got.
CK2 patrols at Brooklands, a report
Of a vehicle just been stolen by means of burglary, stolen with keys.
a red Mazda MX-5.
High-powered sports cars are also desirable, and a Mazda, like the one reported stolen, is heading their way.
The Mazda MX.
Was it a G-Reg, was it?
Don't know. Let's see. Giving it some money.
Yeah, it was giving it a lot.
Yeah. Turning around, mate.
I wasn't sure if it was the one, but it was just one of those that was worth looking at, just worth a second look.
Only clearing lane 3, mate.
It's towing it a bit.
It was towing it when it was flying. Go for pat a bit, mate.
Golf 193.
The car is just ahead. But there's a problem. The cops can't check the car's details with the police national computer.
No response.
We're self-contained in the car. We have an onboard PNC, but like anything, it's not state-of-the-art. It's a couple of years old now.
Oh, come on, machine.
One time you want your equipment to be absolutely bob-on and working. There's a one time it isn't absolutely bob-on and working.
Stolen.
Lane 1 lane now.
Urgent behind an outstanding stolen motor vehicle, A580 outbound. Indy 99, I'm ground commander, is not pursued at this moment in time. 2 on board.
Roger, confirming you're behind the vehicle, the outstanding stolen Mazda from Brooklands. Any other Sierra Patrol can respond, please.
Another member of the squad, PC Ian Bruce, is now on his way to help out.
Still lane 2 for a straight ahead, no deviation. Lights are through the face to green. If you could keep Burt patrols off the air, please. We're through the face now. Still a covert follow. Lane 2, 40 miles an hour. ETA of Indy 99, please.
The thief's driving now suggests he knows someone is on his tail. 2 miles away in the city centre, PC's Talkington and Cross are still following the driver in the stolen Ferrari.
Do you think that he's aware of it yet?
That's a negative. I do not think they are aware of
Female
it.
driver,
It might be a female.
99.
Drop back from him a little bit, mate. Sierra 9918 CK. Obviously, there's no point us lighting this up without any air support. What I suggest is that we try and get this vehicle stung at the earliest opportunity. Take it from there.
The cops must wait until backup with a Stinger arrives to take out the Ferrari's tyres.
Have you got any joy with anyone trying to get ahead with a Stinger, CK?
1983's coming from over that.
Now another problem. An armed response vehicle is getting too close to the action.
Can you ask the ARV to keep moving? Obviously, if they see her, they might just spook it. We don't want this going at speed.
CK Mike 2 to patrols regarding the outstanding stolen Ferrari.
If all liveried, signed police vehicles can stay away from the area for the time being.
For your information there, CK, obviously in the tactical stage, we're not going to get out and try and detain this driver until this vehicle is stung. We don't want this at any sort of speed through the city. We're straight across Sackville Street. Sierra 918, we've got a right indication onto Richmond Street. That's Richmond Street off Sackville Street.
Normally, when thieves know the cops are behind them, they put their foot down. But not this one.
Sierra 918, we're now 10 mile an hour, vehicle pulling over Richmond Street. It's pulling over Richmond Street of its own accord. Just wait. 9918, engine. 9918, engine off, standby. Police! Hiya. Just come over here. Is it your vehicle? When the vehicle pulled up and the young lady got out in a dress and sunglasses, it was somewhat unusual, and certainly there was something slightly amiss.
Just taking it back now.
To where?
To its owner.
She wasn't your usual car thief, if you like. So initially, I started thinking to myself, is this vehicle stolen?
Whose vehicle is it?
It's boyfriend.
Is it? Right, OK.
I'm bringing it back.
It seems an innocent explanation.
Got to tell you that you're under arrest.
Stolen the vehicle, haven't you?
Yeah. That's all.
9918, van to this location, please, female adult arrested.
But a lover's tiff is no defence, and the woman will still be taken in.
The circumstances are that he has reported it stolen, so at the moment it's an outstanding stolen vehicle, and obviously you're driving it. We'll have to go and lodge you at the police station, and then we'll come and have a word with you.
Yeah, no way. We'll take her in, mate.
She's going to have to be arrested, as would any other person, until we can get to the bottom of the story. It may well be that he doesn't wish to make a complaint, but at this moment in time, his car's reported stolen. It's worth, I would suggest, in excess of £120,000. So obviously she's going to have to account for why she's got it, why he's reported it stolen. It would have been an interesting pursuit, but thankfully it wasn't. So.
And there's more good news.
He doesn't want you prosecuting.
Funnily enough.
He wants us to take the car to Ferrari. I've said I'm not prepared to do that.
I'll do it.
The reason why she took it is now becoming clear.
He knew for a fact I would never damage it or not look after it, so he's got enough money, he can do anything, he can pay for whatever, you know, solicitors and stuff, so I was never going to win that way. So it was a case of what can I do to hurt him like I've been hurt?
But it's the cops who are caught in the middle.
It seemed that the police on this occasion were used as a tool by one of the parties involved in this domestic simply to get the vehicle back. Very, very frustrating and a huge waste of police time and resources.
3 miles to the north, PC's Fletcher and Booth are still behind the thief in the stolen sports car.
Yeah, we're at the Queen's Arms Public House now. He's going for lane 1, yeah, I think he's aware we're here. He's going to do a right towards Astley. Yeah, vehicle's through the phase now. We're still going to do a right towards Astley, past the Queen's Hotel.
Bruce C. Fletcher, I'm behind you, mate.
PC Bruce has now arrived. Just in time. Fletcher and Booth are hatching a plan.
We're held at the lights currently. I don't want to make a rush for it, mate, in case...
There's no one to do me here.
You're too dangerous to get out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a male white, approximately late 20s, shaven head, is wearing a blue hooded top.
You can see him putting some gloves on in the vehicle. Realising that one of our other vehicles is just slightly behind. It is a last minute call, but we thought we'd try and box it.
I think he's aware we're here now. He's rooting about inside the car.
Joe's there near side.
Box him.
Box him.
Joe, box him, Joe.
Fletcher and Booth can now put their plan into action.
I went to the front and the other car went to the back. It managed to get out of the box, unfortunately, but just through the angle and the timing, we couldn't quite just time it right.
Sierra 845, and we've been rammed, pursuit situation.
The thief is off again, leaving the cops behind.
Sierra 845, and we're now towards Astley, approaching a left-hand bend, stand by, temporary loss of view. Speed is 60 miles an hour. He has hit the rear of our cars. We attempted to block him at lights, but we are safe to continue.
This time the thief isn't stopping for the lights.
Yes, we're through a red ATS now, top of Huff Lane onto Manchester Road.
That person in front doesn't give a monkeys about anybody else. All he's bothered about is his own skin and getting caught.
He's going to do a left back up towards Little Alton. I forget the name of the road, past the old paper factory.
That commentary is essential. Where's it going to? Not where you are and where you've been. Where are you going to? Where are you going towards? That's where your local knowledge comes in.
Yes, approaching the left-hander now, which I think he's going to do. Yes, it's left onto Mort Lane. Patrols to Little Alton, please.
They tend to go back where they think they're safe. Again, it was going back to a estate called Little Alton.
Continuing, approaching slow-moving traffic towards I think it's a canal bridge or railway bridge, stand by.
And there's one point where he comes underneath a railway bridge. It's a blind bend and he's full offside.
Yeah, he's under the bridge now, wrong side of the road and wrong side bend. Through that towards Little Hulton.
That was the only time really where I thought, this is getting a bit twitchy here, because if something were coming the other way there, I think we'd have been looking at a very, very serious accident.
Now the chase is taking another turn.
Yes, stand by. We're doing a right into Quarry Pond Road. Stand by for abandon. I think you can get through to the estate on here now. We're over speed humps, Quarry Bank. It is a residential estate. We're backing off a little bit. I think he can get through to the estate on Little Alton, or he may be abandoning. Yeah, we're towards the estate at the back now. He's going off-road. We will be following. It's safe to do so.
He realised he wasn't going to lose me under normal driving conditions, so we went on a little off-road excursion.
It's the thief who is now choosing the territory.
Yeah, we're back towards Manchester Road, I think it is, along a footpath. There's no pedestrians at all, and it is safe to continue.
The pressure is on the cops.
Sierra 3646.
Really, concentrate on your driving, mate. Get on your driving. Yeah, we're through the woods now. It's still safe to continue. We have got underbody protection on the vehicle. There's no pedestrians in here, as what I can see. Back it off a bit, mate.
There's loads of cars been through there, and it weren't just our cars that have been through. So it's a regular little route, obviously the lads from the estate use, to shake off the bobbies.
His escape route has given the thief the edge. The cops can't see the car for the trees.
845 has got a bit of ground on us now through the woods. It's quite slippy. We're still continuing. Turn them off.
Our cars need to be on the road 24 hours a day. They're an expensive car, they've got a lot of equipment on them, and we can't just go riding roughshod. And yeah, I'd like a dune buggy sometimes to follow people, but I've got a responsibility to look after that car.
The thief and the stolen car have gone.
We've lost sight of the vehicle somewhere on Parkways in the estate here somewhere. Where was the helicopter?
It's above now, but it's just not behind.
Where was it?
2 minutes too late.
I can confirm the vehicle's been abandoned at the A6 Manchester Road at Little Hulton a short time ago.
That's the vehicle's been abandoned, the A6 Manchester Road, Little Hulton, a short time ago.
In the hurry to get away, the thief has left something behind.
That's unlucky, isn't it?
A mobile phone, which will be checked later.
That's in the motor. Does it say home on it anywhere? No. It's a battle. Every so often we'll have our gains and then we'll have our losses. I mean, I'm a great believer that the tide goes out but it comes back in again. So if somebody gets away, they'll come again. Creatures, they always do. They always come back again. And they'll get them next time.
Local lad, innit? He knew exactly where he was going. I bet he's caused a bit of damage to this, hasn't he? Yeah, he's cracked it, hasn't he?
The chase has left its mark on the stolen car.
I thought it's got a good look at him, but have a look at some photos of the locals, can't we? It's going to be a little Alton lad.
And the cops have also picked up a knock.
Ideal moment rather than getting the pursuit is to try and block it. Unfortunately, just couldn't quite block it in, and it had the escape route out and ended up in a pursuit.
In recent years, concern has been growing over the numbers killed and injured in police car chases.
Well, in the year 2003 to 2004, we saw 31 people killed and over 2,000 seriously injured in crashes involving police vehicles that were responding to either emergencies or in high-speed pursuits. Now, this is an increase of about 65% on the previous year.
Accidents like this are all too common. Last year in Manchester, 4 people died as a result of police pursuits, the worst fatality record of any police force outside London.
I would agree that one death is one death too many, and that's why we are concentrating on driver training. That's also why we have a unit like the TVCU.
The TVCU's elite drivers are tested on their skill every 3 years. It's pass or fail.
Speed is 70 miles an hour. It isn't unduly dangerous. I am happy for this pursuit to continue at this moment in time.
This is PC Fletcher's 3-year test. Ahead of him is a car driven by a police officer whose job it is to make this pursuit as difficult as possible.
We'll attempt to stop it now. It's going through a series of bends. Yeah, we've passed the entrance to Harley Hall and we're straight on.
Fletcher's job is at stake if he fails, but already keeping up is proving difficult.
So you're looking to move up on the Jaguar so we can get that earliest opportunity for an overtake.
Especially when slow-moving traffic is in the way. Fletcher must decide if it's safe to overtake.
No, get off in.
Oh, too late, man, committed.
The Jaguar to let you in then. Very nifty, that.
Right. Yeah, once I committed to that, I thought, oh, I didn't have
All you had to do was ease off, and he'd have carried on going. He could have just tucked in behind him.
Right.
The right foot will lift just as easily as putting it down.
Sorry about that.
Just get it back together.
The safest thing to do there was to come back in behind the car, although I was a bit cheeky really and pinched him before the white line. So look for him pulling out in front of an heavy or something like that, getting a couple of vehicles distance between me and him.
The test now is not to catch up, but to hold back.
I'm just going to cover this lane and let him think that I'm edging my bets. Still might change in front of the transit yet, so I'm still going to wait. It's cleared that.
So he has time to follow the car if it turns off without warning.
So he's looking all the time to do me on various exits, so as he has done there. Side. Just trying to keep him in view now, keep a view of him. Well, he's dedicated now to the A50, so it's quite a fast road, this.
Straight onto position for that left-hand bend.
A bit of a wide junction here, so I may throw a bit of a U-turn in. Get up tight to him so he doesn't ram me.
That's it.
So on the roundabout again, so I'll try and get tight to him, but I'm anticipating he's going to use other vehicles to pull out in front of.
That's it, all over.
I take a great pride in my driving. I know I'm good at it. I can do it quite well. And I was just a bit gutted. It was just a chance to show what I could do, and I think I let myself down on a couple of things. But the implications for me of not passing that test are that I am grounded, I cannot drive. And for all the hard work I do in doing my research into the criminals and finding the cars, I can't do that if I can't drive. I'm not a good passenger.
Talk to me about that then.
Got led into the overtake. The overtake was on when I first saw it. Then he started accelerating in the Jag. You called it, and I didn't react to your call, which I should have done. Even though he started picking up, I could see the solid white line coming, and I still thought I had enough to come in. Then obviously you're shouting brake, and I thought I was just a bit too committed.
He actually eased off, fortunately, to let us in. Otherwise, we'd have taken a load of white line. It worked out in the end. But again, you've hit the nail on the head. You just got a bit latched on. You'd be pleased to know anyway, I'm quite satisfied that you've come up to the standard for today.
Thanks very much.
And you can relax now. All right?
Yeah, thanks very much, mate. Cheers.
It's all right.
Police officers are very highly trained individuals, particularly traffic officers. However, by definition, every single high-speed car chase involves two vehicles. One is being driven by a highly trained professional, the other is being driven by a scared criminal whose only objective is to get away from the policeman following them.
We cannot have a situation where as soon as someone jumps into a car, having just been involved in a robbery, ram raid, an abduction, as soon as someone gets in a car, they can just drive off and the police aren't going to follow them. Our responsibility is to make sure those pursuits are as safe as they possibly can be.
In Salford, another car, a Volvo, is now refusing to stop. PC Ian Bruce is on the tail of the runaway driver.
I've looked at him and he's seen me looking at him and just made straight off. I've turned around to follow it at that point, having no idea why he's making off.
At these speeds, even the cops in their high-performance cars can't always keep up.
I've had to pull back slightly over a vehicle that was turning right. He's gained a bit of ground on me.
The red brake lights ahead means this pursuit has come to an abrupt end. Now, two other members of the squad, PC Snook and Deer, are en route to help.
The bandit vehicle that's failed to stop has crashed into another vehicle. As you can see, the scene in front of us now.
The driver who made off is trapped in the wreckage.
Listen to me, what's your name, fella? Say again. Andrew, right, listen, just take a deep breath, mate.
And if you can keep somebody talking, it takes their mind off the other things they're worried about, which is the level of injury they've got.
All right, fella.
I'm so sorry.
Don't worry, all right.
It's not stolen, Nick.
Right. Now, listen, can you move your legs, all right? Can you move them, all right? Right, I want you to come out through the window, buddy, all right?
You're going to move it?
Yeah, you're smoking into it when you get him out of this car, mate.
There's a lot of smoke coming from underneath the bonnet and into the actual cockpit of the vehicle.
We need to get him out, Brucey.
Can you get out this way, mate?
Can you get out this way?
So the other concern was to release the man from the car. Potentially we could be looking at a car fire.
We're going to have to get you out of there because it's smoking all right, mate. So we're going to have to drag you.
It seems to be all right. I think it's more legs and perhaps lower body. Yeah, mate.
Just lean your head on me, mate. Lean your head on
You
me.
take one hand, I'll take the other. Take it easy, take it easy. Right.
Just put him up on the pavement over here, buddy.
How about up there? Just up there behind you, Bruce.
The innocent driver is also trapped.
I mean, the main concern at the moment is the people in the vehicles and make sure that nobody's too seriously injured. As you can see, the paramedics are here now dealing with the chap in the other car.
While the emergency services try to free the man trapped in his car, across the city, PCs Talkington and Cross are back out on patrol looking for a stolen BMW, which has been used by a gang of armed robbers.
I believe it's a BMW on a 52 number plate with a back window smashed. Just going to make our way to the area now and see if we can locate the vehicle and see if there's anybody still with it. Yeah, Black 5 Series. BK52, yeah, it's the right reg. It's going to be on a false plate, this. BK52.
It's an outstanding stolen from Duckingfield. It was stolen with the keys in a burglary on the 8th of this month.
We'll have a check of it now, bearing in mind we've got to preserve any DNA forensics and find out what it's been used in today, and we'll take it from there.
Do you know how many cigarettes they've got?
Now more information on the gang that stole the car is coming in.
So we've got a quantity of cigarettes and £50 cash. Three white males have gone in, masked up, and they've got glass samples have been recovered from the car at the scene of the offence.
The gang are thought to be responsible for a series of raids on newsagents. CCTV cameras have captured them on tape as they hold up the storekeeper. They use an old blanket to carry away the hundreds of packets of cigarettes they have stolen. Within less than a minute, the gang has what it wants.
They've made off in this vehicle, and as they've done so, somebody has smashed the rear window with a baseball bat in an attempt to make the vehicle more distinguishable or to get them to stop. You know, it's more than a coincidence that we've got a vehicle fitting that description with a smashed window. In the back of the vehicle, it looks like the item that they've actually put the property into may still be there, which is some sort of like a blanket. They've also recovered from the scene some glass samples from this vehicle, or what we believe to be from this vehicle, which obviously I'm sure they'll match up now with any other forensics that they've got.
3 miles away, at the scene of the car accident, the driver who tried to get away from the cops has taken a turn for the worse.
Yeah, at the moment they're working on the driver from the Volvo, which is the vehicle that failed to stop for PC Bruce. As you can see, there's lots of activity there now. The ambulance crew are looking after him as best they can.
The innocent driver who he hit remains trapped in the wreckage.
It's just very, very frustrating. And as you can see now, the amount of work and effort that has to go in, picking up the pieces and sorting out the mess. And that's not to mention the poor bloke in the car there who's going about his own business and suddenly he finds himself stuck behind the wheel of his own car and he's possibly got leg injuries that you know, may well take weeks and weeks to recover from. It's just ridiculous, really. The driver of the Volvo is in the ambulance awaiting to go to hospital to be treated, and as you can see they're still trying to get this this poor chap out of his vehicle. I just hope that he's not too seriously injured. You know, all this could have been just avoided if the lad in the Volvo had just pulled over and stopped. This had never have occurred. If you're asked to stop by the police, pull over. But if you don't, this is the sort of thing that you could possibly cause.
And the investigation of this, yet another police pursuit accident, will soon begin. But first, the video from the car driven by PC Bruce is under scrutiny from his colleagues to see if he was driving too fast and too close to the car making off.
I mean, you're well off him, aren't you, there? There's not an issue with it at all, is there? Yeah.
The innocent motorist hit by the driver of the Volvo suffered a broken leg and internal injuries and spent over 2 months in hospital.
You still feel upset. It's not a pleasant place to be, but you have to remind yourself that the accident happened solely because of one person, and that's the driver of the Volvo.
The reason Manchester's police need to chase cars that refuse to stop is because so many of the city's violent criminals use stolen cars. In a petrol station forecourt, another stolen car, and inside it, another of Manchester's violent gangs. Staff inside go about their business, unaware that they're about to be the targets of a vicious attack. The gang are armed with swords and hold the terrified staff hostage as they loot the tills. The gang then makes its getaway in the stolen car.
They will use violence to get what they want, whether it's in the taking of the car or the burglaries or robberies. To the extent of the public, there will be violence to the public, whether male or female, and they're violent to us as well.
PC's Fletcher and Booth are back in Salford, and their attention once again returns to local gangs who use stolen cars.
If you look at every premises along here, Strangeways going in towards the city now, we'll have anti-ram raid bollards outside, every single one of them. All metal shutters, all the bollards all the way down the side, reinforced ram raiding bars.
It's been done, hasn't it?
It's been done that many times. Well, they usually do it like 10 o'clock at night. And then when there's still people milling about, so quite blatantly they get seen doing it. I mean, sometimes they actually park stolen cars across the street so cars can't get past while they do the ram raid. Remember, the public aren't going to get involved, I don't blame them either. But it's like a military operation when they do it, they all have these back-to-back walkie-talkies. So someone will be lookout on the routes in towards where they are, letting them know if they see any other cars or any police cars en route.
Salford's ram raiders have favourite getaway cars.
BMW 3 Series, from a J through to an N-Reg Honda Civic, and Mazda 323s, 626s, a Saab 9900. Same year again. It's just it's like a signature car. They know what the car will do. They know how to steal it, and that's what they have away.
Not far away, one of Salford's gangs has struck. A team of ram raiders have been caught on CCTV cameras as they make a getaway in a stolen car. Almost too fast for one of the gang. The expensive designer clothes they've taken are still hanging out of the boot. The gang is using 2 cars. The one behind is also stolen.
CK patrols on the Foxtrot 4. We have a report of a ram raid in progress as the clothing stores on Church Street, Eccles. That's a ram raid in progress, Church Street, Eccles. Information is it's either a black Mazda or a Nissan and a Ford Focus.
The address is just minutes from the squad's base. PC's Talkington and Cross are also nearby.
Yeah, we just saw the report then, just as we're pulling into the yard to finish. They've said there's been a ram raid, 2 vehicles used, a Nissan 200 and a Ford Focus. That's all we've got. Sounds like someone's gone through the shutters at the premises. Both vehicles last seen back towards Eccles, which is where we are now.
We were checking usual haunts where they abandoned the vehicles. As we went into one of these estates, this car came flying in the opposite direction, and we turned around and went after it.
It's not the Ram Raiders, but the cops can't ignore a suspicious vehicle trying to get away.
Got a vehicle here, high speed, up here.
PC Cross knows the woman.
Don't be silly.
I've not been driving.
Don't be silly, come on.
She's a disqualified driver.
Please.
Oh, you shouldn't be driving, should you?
Oh, please don't arrest me, please.
PC Talkington has found another reason why she wanted to get away.
You're locked up for possession with intent to supply as well. Get a cuff.
What?
Phil, cuff her, mate.
With what? I've got nothing.
What's all the
apart
money
from
then?
money.
How much is there?
£5 grand.
What's all that for?
What's that for? It's my money off
Go
my
ahead.
mum.
£5,000 in notes there, and a bag of some form of drugs.
Negative. I've just PNC, mate. I think she's disqualified.
We've just seen this vehicle travelling at high speed and stopped it. This lady, we believe, is disqualified on 2 different occasions. In the vehicle is a bag containing what she says is £5,000, and a bag with small yellow tablets in, which I don't know what they are.
What are they?
Sleeping tablets.
Okay.
You know the crack, don't you? You shouldn't be out driving, should you?
I wasn't. I was only driving around to my boyfriend.
Well, either way. Come on then. Let's just go and sit in the van.
In the van?
Yeah, you're going to have to go in the van back to the police station, aren't you? At the end of the day, you drive around, then you have to accept what's going to happen, don't you? Let's just have a quick look in them back pockets that you've got there, just before you get in the van. Yeah, just come around here.
But something still isn't right.
Lionel.
Right, let's have a quick look.
Hang on, just stay there. You've got something in that one.
What's that in there then? In that white?
We knew that she was lying. We can tell that she's lying and we can smell it a mile off.
Yeah, come here. Don't want to get too personal, that's all. What's in
that back one there, you got some...
It's just a bit of carrier bag.
Right.
That's that.
What's in it? Take it out, please.
There's nothing in it.
Take it out and hand it
There's
to me.
nothing in it.
Take it out and hand it to me.
Oh, yeah, I'll get it out. Get off me! That is!
Relax. Relax.
Well, get off me
Relax.
then. Get off me then.
Everybody's given the opportunity to tell the truth, and when they don't and they blatantly lie, especially when we think that people have got something concealed on the person, you need to be firm with them.
Get off me,
Relax.
please.
What's it, a bit of unfair or not?
Yeah.
Right, well don't piss
Right,
her
well,
out.
tell him to get off me, because it is.
Right, when we find out what it is, have you
I'll
got
give
any
it him now.
Have you got any
no,
needles?
he
Right.
hasn't. I don't touch them.
Right,
Get
just
off
take
me,
it out
get
nicely.
I'll give it
Right,
you.
just take it out. How much unfair is there?
Just the tennis.
Right,
Is there anything in the other pocket?
No.
You're also under arrest on suspicion of possession of a controlled drug, all right? Okay.
Yeah.
Just take your seat in the van and watch your energy get in. Right, cheers.
There's £5 in that car, mate. And a load of yellow tablets.
Okay, dizzy driving and possession.
At the scene of the Ram raid on the clothes shop, PC Fletcher is working out how the gang broke in.
What they'll do, they'll peel the shutter back at the side, then they use half a grid then to smash the glass. So when they smash the glass, obviously they've got quite a bit of clothing looking at what's here. They use grids to break in. It's literally your everyday drain cover that you've got outside your house. They'll take one of those, put it back in the car, and there's some weight to one of those, and put it through the window. Kids' clothing in it, look at
The size of the hangers.
We'll go and have a look for the cars.
Try and get the forensic from the
try and
cars,
get the forensic
innit?
from the cars. So we'll go and do that. So I say it's not that late. It's happened at 11:15. It's in the middle of the street.
It's quite busy still,
bold
isn't it?
as brass.
Across town, an even more serious incident has occurred. A man has been attacked and his car taken. First reports are now coming in.
CK patrols in the city centre. I have information of a carjacking in progress, Princess Street, a Honda Type R, a Civic in black. The owner of the vehicle being threatened by 4 males with iron bars.
PC Talkington has now teamed up with PC Bruce to search for the gang.
The car's a Civic Type R, so it's a sporty model, so it's quite a desirable motor vehicle. It's a vehicle which is targeted by car thieves because of its performance.
The offenders that commit these sorts of crimes are quite prepared to threaten violence, and if you don't comply with their wishes, they will use violence on you. Even if they didn't get the vehicle, they're quite capable and quite prepared to do that. We see it more and more commonly.
CK patrols, further information regarding the Honda Civic Type R. It's now reported outstanding stolen. The vehicle last seen Whitworth Street towards the Mancunian Way.
Oh, let's go. Beauty.
The carjackers are now heading south, towards Talkington and Bruce.
Yeah,
Traffic's being picked up.
Our indications are A6 Stockport Road would be
Oh,
Multability.
The stolen car has been fitted with a tracking device.
They seem to think, from the information available to them at this moment in time, that it's going to be around the South Manchester, possibly Longsight, Moss Side area. We're approximately half a mile from that location now. We suspect that the vehicle's actually moving, that it's actually out and about, and that the offenders are still driving the car. So quite hopeful that this vehicle may still be moving about, and we might be able to get behind it and get some people arrested. When you've got a vehicle like this and you know that you're in the immediate vicinity of it, or you believe it's to be moving, as we did on this occasion, the adrenaline buzz that you do get from it is quite strong. I mean, you have to be able to control your feelings and deal with the job in hand, but it's very, very exciting.
The cops are now getting a signal from the stolen car, and it's close by.
You can see from the tracker unit now, it's starting to beep, and it's getting stronger now. Ballet Street. There you go, right? It's going to be in these flats. I believe the vehicle will be in these flats to our...
There it is on the right. Just on the right there behind you.
The stolen car is parked up, neat and tidy.
As you can see, the tracker unit's led us straight to the vehicle.
There's no sign of the gang who took it, but PC Talkington suspects they're not far away.
What we're looking at when we're looking at the vehicle is we're checking the bonnet, the engine, and the exhaust to see how hot the vehicle is. It gives us an indication of how long it's been here. These wheels are absolutely red hot, as you can see. That's not from normal driving conditions, so this vehicle's been driven hard, been driven fast, and it's been driven very recently before being abandoned at this location. Unfortunately, we were probably minutes just behind when these offenders abandoned it.
You'd have to think they're going to be in one of these houses, aren't they? They're going to be watching us now, but it's knowing which house it is, isn't it? Unfortunately, we've not got a tracker on them.
Roscoe and his handler PC Don Whittaker have arrived to help out.
If it was in the middle of a field, mate, there wouldn't be a problem. Because it's just on hard surface as opposed to grass. Grass holds the scent for hours and hours and hours. Whereas on a tarmac or a stone, there's not as much chance to put the scent down, you know.
Now another car has turned up.
Take your keys out of the ignition, pal.
It's possible it's connected to the gang of carjackers.
Pass it over to me, mate.
Two men have got out and gone into a nearby house, leaving two others behind.
You live round here? Right, who's the lad? Who's just gone in the house? Right, listen. Let's not have one-word answers, all right? If I'm asking you who's going in the house after a name out or not, whether it's a boy or a girl or your friend or whatever. All right, so let's start playing the ball, yeah?
But it's what's inside the car that is now of interest to Talkington.
What are those gloves for? Surgical gloves. Are you a surgeon?
No.
Surgical gloves are used by car thieves to hide their fingerprints so that they're not left on any surfaces. Very, very common amongst burglars, car thieves, and there's only one reason that these lads have got them. What's that under your seat for? Let me guess, just fixing your car. There's also a wrench or a spanner type implement inside the vehicle. Coupled with the surgical gloves, I would suggest that the occupants of the vehicle were up to no good. Why is your ignition lights on? Your keys are out of the car.
Because my lock's broken, officer.
Is this car registered to you?
Yes.
Durex. 2 years out of date, that. Have you got a girlfriend?
Me.
Now more information is coming in about the gang of carjackers who stole the Honda.
CK to patrols regarding the outstanding stolen Honda Civic Type R. It's believed that two of the offenders, one male black and one white male, about 16 to 17 years on board.
These two lads are not involved in the carjacking, but Talkington still wants to check out those inside the house.
Good evening, sorry to bother you, it's the police. Two lads that came in your house a minute ago, we just asked them to come out, Ali and the other lad, please.
I've just come downstairs putting the baby to bed.
That's fine, it's okay, it was
You
two
can
lads.
come in and check.
There's two lads that came in your house. On being invited into the kitchen area,
the window is wide open and it's clear from the footmarks on the windowsill that these lads have been in and have actually gone out through the back of the property. So what's the story here, lads? Who are they?
Yeah, it's not me, but
Ali? Well, that doesn't mean anything to me, that does it? What's his surname?
That's all I know.
That's rubbish.
it's not enough.
Absolute rubbish.
I was kidding.
Talkington isn't getting the answers he wants.
Got insurance? No, lock your car up.
With no tax or insurance for the car, Talkington is making sure the two lads will be walking home tonight.
At this moment in time, we haven't got anything to link these with this incident. It's circumstantial. What we will do is we'll put their names forward for any fingerprints, for any forensics for this vehicle. But at the moment in time, it's just another case of idiots that don't want to be spoken to by the cops.
3 miles away in Salford, the Ram Raiders who broke into the clothes shop have swapped their car and are back on the streets.
Observations please for a Saab 9000 in blue, stolen from Odsall, the vehicle possibly used in connection with the Ram Raid Eccles.
We knew that they'd dumped the Mazda and they wanted a new vehicle, and lo and behold, the Saab gets stolen from the city centre.
PC's Fletcher and Booth are now looking for the Ram Raiders in the stolen Saab.
There it is, mate. See it?
Yeah. Did they come out through a red?
Yeah, it's overtook, done the wrong side and overtook that. Yeah, it's going the opposite way, mate. Just try to catch up, we've got to spin it around.
But they're on their own, and the Ram Raiders are now putting distance between them. Backup is urgently required from the Force helicopter India 99.
Yeah, can we have 99 or 66, please? There's a Saab, it's been near this MX6. It's Regent Road. It's done a red light at the 602 and gone down Eccles New Road.
Now the trick is to keep them in view, at least until help arrives.
It's a Saab 9000 4 up. We've caught up to it in My Street at Weast.
Bally's on. Balaclava's on, mate. Front near side's got a bally on.
Yeah, they're putting balaclavas on now. 990, please, as soon as.
But they've been rumbled.
Video, mate.
Yeah, they've put his, Bassie's put his up, front seat's got a
Yeah,
balaclava.
can I have assistance with traffic, please, with a Stinger now, with a patrol if possible. This vehicle's going to make off in a minute, I'm sure it will.
It's decision time for the gang.
What's going on here?
Yeah, they're swapping drivers. We're still held near the Metrolink station. It's indicating right to My Street, Mike Yankee Street off Eccles New.
Whether to run or to fight.
Yeah, they're getting items out of the boot. They're going to do us here, I think. They're getting weapons out.
Yeah, getting stuff out, get ready.
Yeah, they're getting. They're going to attack us here. They're getting machetes out of the boot.
Golf clubs. Got golf clubs.
845 on urgent. We're going to get attacked by a Saab on Eccles New Road.
It's off now. It's off. It's a left for left. Missouri, no, it's a U-turn back towards the M602.
The gang heads back towards Salford.
Yeah, it's a tactical phase of a pursuit. They're throwing items at us now. Golf balls received. It's a red light. India 99 soon as, please, and traffic patrols it.
Fletcher and Booth now have a chase on their hands.
Yeah, they're all male adults, white male adults, approximately 20 years of age. Speeds in excess of 77 mile an hour towards the M602.
I just told patrols, don't bother coming to us, just get towards them. That's where we knew the car was going to end up there. So if we can flood the estate, and then the helicopter's got the car in sight, once they abandon that car, then it's good guys versus bad guys then, and my gang's bigger than theirs.
Lights out on the vehicle, it's lane 1 approaching. It's
We're right. Trafford Road. They're throwing items out the car at us, balaclava up.
Trafford Road towards the quays. They've got golf clubs on the vehicle as well, and a machete, I think.
The Force helicopter has now joined the pursuit.
Yeah, speeds in excess of 55, sir. There's no other vehicle traffic on this part of the dual carriageway, no pedestrians. We're happy to continue at this moment.
845 is hanging out the window with a balaclava and a golf club waving at us. ARVs as well, please.
Armed response vehicles are also on their way.
Towards the shopping precincts on Odsall.
But the gang have made it to home turf, to where they hope to shake off those pursuing them.
It's going to a dead end, I believe, unless you can get through the bollards. There's no pedestrians, no other vehicles, it's very quiet. They're going across the park area.
We can follow at this moment in time. It is, we've got underbody protection, it's on a pathway.
We're off-road back in towards the estate.
But Fletcher and Booth are once again stuck in the rough.
Yeah, we're having to back off due to some debris on the floor here. Temporarily lost sight of it. It's going to come back out towards Phoebe Street. Which way, mate? 3646, it's unable to follow this moment.
The gang are still going.
99 is back onto Phoebe Street.
But Fletcher and Booth aren't.
Can't get out, mate, I think.
Oh, are you still on this channel?
Yeah.
That's the way we came in, mate.
I was absolutely gutted, really, because of the vegetation. I couldn't see the car. So if I couldn't see where I was going, there was no point carrying on. Best just to regroup, really, which is what we did.
It's now up to Indian 99 to follow the chase.
West Crown Avenue, back towards Regent Road.
Going back towards Regent Road now. 7258, I'm on route to the area. 258, thanks.
At least one of the gang has had enough and is taking his chances alone.
No, Coronation Street, Roger.
One's jumped out the back at top of Coronation Street, the rest are still going. Looks like an abandoned.
And now his mates are joining him.
Looks like an abandoned now, Coronation Street.
Sierra Victor vehicle has been abandoned on Coronation Street.
Stay with the driver, on foot, up Coronation Street.
The cops will now follow the driver. He will face the most serious charges.
No, they're trying to hide, possibly trying to get into an address, Coronation Street now. We need to hurry up, he's knocking on and he's gone into an address on Coronation.
Male driver now going to an address on Coronation Street.
It's not barreled, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Meanwhile, PC Fletcher is out of the rough and with the stolen Saab.
This is the car, obviously it's been, its rear quarter light smashed and the ignition's been bypassed. I'm sure this car lives in Asgard Drive where the Mazda's abandoned, so obviously just nicked this off there and seen us, and then all the funds began then with the ball. But you can see inside they've got the golf clubs inside. The golf club in the back. The one in the passenger, that was one that was waving at us out the passenger seat.
While Fletcher secures the evidence, officers are now at the house where the driver is hiding out.
We've got one detained, but we're just going to search the rest of the house. You see.
The cops have the driver, a local gang member who has over 20 convictions for ram raiding.
They're dangerous, they're violent, they're very, very violent people, and they're kids as well, and that's the annoying thing. They're not big 6'4" blokes in their 30s, they're kids who don't eat, they're scrawny as hell, but they go mob-handed with balaclavas on, put the fear factor in the people and take the cars off them, whatever they want there, try and get. They're just not afraid of anyone.
Last year, there were more than 120 ram raids in the city. The cops who deal with them continue to make arrests.
The TVCU are absolute stars in this, in the fight against car crime, armed robbery and ram raids. There is no hiding place for these people. We're going to be out there, we're going to be behind them, and we're going to be arresting them.
The driver who made off from PC Bruce was convicted of driving without insurance. The accident is still under investigation. The man in the stolen Mazda who was chased by PC's Fletcher and Booth is still at large. The woman stopped by PC's Torkington and Cross for possession of a Class A drug is awaiting trial. And 2 men were arrested for the ram raid on the clothes shop. Both pleaded guilty.
With no hope of getting on the property ladder, a new idea for first-time buyers. But would you buy a house with a stranger? A new series here on BBC One after the news.